door to them. Oh my God!
What was that?
Oh my God, there was gunshots. Oh my God, are you okay?
Those were the fatal shots fired by a police officer who killed Andrew Loku in an apartment hallway 2 years ago, as heard through a 911 call presented today at the coroner's inquest. And now we're finally learning the identity of the officer who pulled the trigger. This is Constable Andrew Doyle. He testified under oath at the inquest into Loku's death today, saying he feared for his life when Loku, with a hammer in hand, started walking towards him and his partner. Doyle says he repeatedly shouted at Loku to drop his weapon, then fired his gun twice. Now, the inquest continues this week, and this comes after persistent protests by Black Lives Matter.
Any officer is well capable and skilled enough to understand how to deal with members of the community who may have a mental health issue. Andrew Loku has a mental health issue, and the answer was not to kill him. The answer was to de-escalate the situation and to approach him like a human being. That's why that officer should have been criminally charged.
New evidence was revealed, including the 911 call you heard from a woman who said Loku had threatened to kill her friend. As well, this surveillance footage from the apartment hallway where he died. Some parts of the police officer's testimony today are bringing up more questions.
We also heard that, he shouted commands at Mr. Loku. We don't know whether or not Mr. Loku responded to those commands, so we're going to have to hear that during cross-examination. We heard that Mr. Loku, both hands of Mr. Loku were up, and we know that he had a black plastic bag in one hand and the hammer in the other hand. So a question importantly will be whether at that point Mr. Loku was surrendering when he had his two hands up.
Doyle said that police training taught him to aim for center mass instead of Loku's arms or legs. And he says using another weapon such as a baton or pepper spray would not have been enough to stop Loku. Doyle is expected to be cross-examined tomorrow.